Hi guys, Scotty here with another DBZ Dokkan battle video for you. Today we're going to be looking at how to beat the universe-distorting Justice and Order event that recently dropped. It is the Infinite Zamasu event. It's quite difficult if you don't use your support item, and it can be a little confusing when you're supposed to use it, how to get this done, and how do you get the missions done. So there are going to be 3 missions that you'll need to do. One is just for actually clearing the event itself, and that is going to give you the support memory with the 2 Zenos. Then there's going to be another 2 more missions, and those are going to be specific teams you need to use to clear the event. Now, nothing terribly difficult here. The first one is just going to be using a super type of each typing category, so an AGL tech and all that. You're going to need to make sure you bring a full super team, one of each typing, and then the next mission is going to be bringing a 6 Future Saga category characters in. So I'll take you through 2 runs to get those completely done. You could just do it as well if you want, just with a single team of a future super team, but I just did it with 2 different teams, and I've got the runs for you guys here. So this is the team I chose. Yep, this is a full Future Saga team, and what you could do here is either you can take this exact team that I took. It had absolutely no problem, but it is very heavy on LRs, and it's got 2 free-to-play units in there though. But what you could really do is you could also just run the clones, the free-to-play clones team. They will be absolutely fine in this. It's actually going to be quite interesting going forward, telling people what teams to use for events, because in all honesty, you can pretty much use a free-to-play clones team in nearly everything. I mean, obviously if you need different builds for different categories, like this is specifically for future, so it's absolutely fine to use the clones to get the mission done. But yeah, so I would just take this team or take through a similar team if you've got any of the easiest, or especially if you've got the Goku Black / LR tag unit. They'll just blast through this, and what you're going to do is it's going to be very easy in the beginning, and then right before you need to use the support item, you can start hitting a little bit hard. Like you see here, we're just pretty much one-shotting the boss each time. There is a I don't want to be completely overconfident about this, but as far as I know, there is a guaranteed AoE super that comes from Zamasu in the 2nd slot. So that is where the super is going to be. So generally, if you're killing them on the 1st slot there, it'll be fine. But if you aren't, and you get to that 2nd slot, and your 2nd slot unit does the supers, after that you're going to get an AoE attack directed at all your units. So that's where the danger is coming from, mainly the AoEs. We'll get into the attack boosting that comes after in the later stage. I think it is from the 4th stage on. So you see we've done 2 there now. We're going into our 3rd here. This is still shouldn't be too difficult, still should be relatively easy, and you can still do damage. So now going on to the 3rd stage, he's going to start hitting a little bit harder, nothing too hard, he's got a bit more health, and then once we're done with this 3rd stage here, there is going to be a 4th and final stage where we can do damage to him before we get to the point of using that support item. But yeah, we're still tearing through like half his health in a single attack here. This is not too bad, as long as you do have that LR Goku Black and Zamasu unit leading the charge. But even if you have the clones, I mean, they do so much damage as well anyway, so it won't be a problem at all getting through them. Now, this event is quite unique in that the item that you're going to possibly use is totally optional, but it offers you a way out of the event, and it does count as completing the event. But if you don't actually use the item, then the Zeno button item, then you will just go into a stage where it's in ton of health, and Zamasu is going to constantly boost his attack by 600%. 600% every single turn. I think it's up to 3,000, so it becomes a monster, especially with the AoE attacks. Now think of 600% attack boost per turn, and it's an AoE attack, so no one is getting to super. Well, the first 2 slots are getting to super, and that 3rd slot is who's not going to super. So that's how you kind of need to look at it. You need a slot 1, you need a slot 2 who's going to possibly boost himself up like this Fusion Zamasu, and then you need a slot 3 who's going to be able to either dodge or straight up tank a massive hit without having any prep or supers beforehand. So yeah, you'll see that the health is kind of boosted up here a lot. We're taking a little bit longer to get through this Zamasu, the 4th stage Zamasu, but we are coming in with a 41 million attack from LR into Fusion Zamasu. It is so nice seeing this unit doing that. But you'll see, once we go into the next screen here, we get to the 5th Zamasu, we got a little scenario that plays out, kind of just stuff from the show. We need to use the button. Yeah, so now you can either use the button, and there will be the rest of the turn. This turn specifically, you will not be able to do any damage to him at all. It'll always be 0 no matter what, but then once this turn is over, the event will end. It'll count as you completing the event with that team, and you'll get your mission rewards, and you'll move on from then. Now, if you don't want to do that, so I just used the item there. If you don't want to do that and you do want to complete the event without using the item, you want to no item run it, that is possible, and the only real reward you get for doing that is a title. I'll be honest, it is a bit of a rubbish title, but it is cool. I'm definitely going to try get it as well. And then you are going to be dealing with that super powerful, souped up Zamasu that is going to be boosting his attack by 600% every single turn. So you really need units that are going to be able to tank that, or just rapidly burn them down. So I might do a video on that. I've never really cared too much about no item runs, but I'll see. Maybe I will. Do like titles though, so maybe it's worth getting for the title. But you'll see here, I'm going to jump to the end quickly. No one wants to watch a bunch of zeros pop up. So this is our last attack here. We get the KO screen here. We get a little scenario that plays out. Zeno pops in, is like, bruh, no thanks, deleting Zamasu, and that is then the end of the event. See, we'll get a completion screen here after this little scenario plays out with Trunks and them leaving in the thing, and Lornbeerus is popping up as well. So yeah, you can just skip all of this. I just put it there for the video, going through it quickly, and there we should have it done. So that will count as a full clear with whatever team you chose, and you will get the rewards for all of that. And yeah, so if you want to complete it with no item, you need to not use the item there, and then you will just go on. So that'll be the future Saga missions done, and we'll go quickly on to now doing one type of each super typing. So this is not too difficult either. Listen, it's not an easy event. That fourth and final phase before you can't do any damage to them, you can't move on. That can hit hard, especially because it's an AoE. So if you bring units that are relatively like okay, not really strong, you probably will get caught out in the 4th stage there, the 4th phase of the fight. But otherwise, it's okay. I mean, there's a panel mission relating to finish this, so generally that's not hard. It's interesting how they've laid it out, where you can have a pretty easy time, and then you can use the Xeno button to opt out to finish it, or you can kind of take the difficult route and do no item and try smash the event that way. So it's quite cool, actually. And what's quite interesting here is that not that Tech Vegito is useless or anything on the stage. He's great, but they're not a huge amount of attacks from Zamasu, and it almost feels like that's intentional. So there's not a ton of when he comes around and you get your Vegeta out and he's got his big boom turn and everything, and he's boosted by Gogeta. There's not actually a ton of attacks that come in from Zamasu. So there is a little bit of a, like you can see on the screen here, there's like what 2, 4, 5. There's what, no, 2 through 4. There's literally 4 attacks. So it's not really great for Vegito in this event, but he'll tank things well and he'll get you through. I mean, not that he's used at all, he's still an amazing unit. But yeah, that is pretty much how you get the super typing one done as well, not too difficult. So jumping ahead a little bit, just show that this team was able to get through here, and we're going to pop the button again, and then this will get us, we won't do any damage again this turn. So much fun watching all your teams, all your cards just doing bunches and bunches of supers and sitting there and watching Zero pop up. That's an awesome thing. I'm so glad they did that. Being highly sarcastic, if you can't tell. I'm not really sure why they decided to do that, but suppose he was invulnerable in the show, so maybe that's what they're trying to show. Anyway, so you just survive the turn again, and you get it done after using the button on that stage, and you'll see we are finished. We get the same scenario and we will be done. And that is how you get all 3 missions done and dusted, so that you get your extra stones and you get your support memory all good. So yeah, that is pretty much how the event works. Maybe I'll do a video on iteming it so I can show you guys how it looks, and yeah, I hope this helped, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will check you in the next one.